All right, what's up, guys? We're just gonna end the night with a quick kind of update, what's been going on, all that kind of stuff. Behind me, we've got a bunch of sheets and parts cut out. We're working on right now is another flatbed. This one's going on an 08 F250 long bed. It's a single cab long bed, so it's getting full skirt, 4 storage boxes underneath, and then a ladder rack up top. So we'll probably post pictures of that one when it's done. So yesterday, it's outside. The bugs are crazy, so I'm not gonna open the door and show you guys. But last night I got the frame of it, all the cross members, the sills, the mounts, all that welded in. Today I cut out almost all. I know I'm gonna have to get another sheet of plate. So I'm gonna order that tomorrow, and then out of this I'll probably cut out tomorrow what I need to do toolboxes and like all of that stuff. And then I just have to figure out how I'm gonna tie in, because I always put a top rack with lights in it, but this one obviously is going to have a ladder rack and he wants it on there permanently, so we got to kind of adjust how we're gonna have that fixed on there, and if we're still gonna do top lights. So I gotta figure that out, and we might just not do top lights. I'm going back and forth on it, and well, you guys will know as soon as I know what we decide to do. I have one idea that I think I might do, but I gotta play around with how it will look. Anyways, so tonight we were cutting stuff out. I've been working at night. Our son just turned 1. My wife is back to work full-time. She's part-time in the winter, full-time, even more than full-time. She's like 50, 60 hours a week in the summer. So summer months, when she has to go to the office, I actually watch him in the mornings during the days, and I answer phone calls and maybe edit videos, do all that good stuff. And then she gets home about 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock I come out, and I usually work till around midnight. I actually really like it, because that's not true. She gets home at 4. We usually spend an hour, hang out with a kid, play, eat dinner. I get out here by 5, work till about midnight. So I get pretty much 7 hours of like uninterrupted work, which is actually, I'm more efficient that way versus like working during the day and trying to answer phone calls and quotes and all that stuff. It's just, I used to have to take like an entire day to sit down and do quotes, and like if that day was Friday and you called me on a Monday, like I wouldn't get to your quote unless it was an emergency until Friday, and I never really felt like it was fully efficient for me. I actually really like the working at night deal, especially right now. We're in a heat index, as you can tell. I'm kind of sweaty. It's literally midnight right now, and it is still like 80 degrees out here and super, super humid for Michigan, so that's fun. But yeah, so cutting out parts on the Crossfire Pro. I get asked all the time, do I like this table? Would I recommend buying it? If you don't have any work for one and you want to get something started, I'd buy one. You can do a full 4x8 sheet by index cutting. As you can see, I've kind of moved, it's a half sheet, but I've just moved it straight on through. It's really not that bad. Yeah, it's kind of slower. I wish they had, and maybe you can do it and I just don't know. I know I could do it in like Inkscape, or I could probably even do it in Fusion, but I wish in Fire Control you could drag and drop parts. So like you could just lay a sheet of, you know, whatever you have, 4 feet by 32 inch, or yeah, 48 inches by 32 inches, and you could drag and drop parts and fill it and then just hit run. I know I could do it in Inkscape, but I can't, like Inkscape or even Fusion. I know I could do it in there, but I can't get, like I don't run Fusion on the laptop out here just because we don't have like a super good Wi-Fi connection, and it'd be really, really slow, and it's like every time I'm always trying to use up as much of the plate as I can. So I'm always trying to like drag and drop pieces, and it's like doing it one at a time. It's really, really slow. So, I don't always do it. Like, I know you should be efficient. Like, here's actually some good examples. Like, there's still a lot left on these plates. Honestly, these plates are gonna go to scrap because I don't have the storage for it. And, like, I just don't have that many little parts that we run through that quick. That really justifies, like, time-wise, like, all that. So, anyways, last week we were building smokers, and like I said, it was my son's... Swallow the bug. That's awesome. It was my son's birthday, so we were kind of focused on that, like getting property and everything cleaned up and all that stuff. So last week we cranked a smoker out. They came and picked it up this morning. They really, really liked it. It was going to a brewing company. I should be getting deposits, honestly, in the next couple of days for one going to Detroit, which we usually sell one in the Detroit area about once a month, so almost once a month now. And for whatever reason, we're always delivering. We're in the Detroit area doing a delivery of a smoker, restaurants, personal use, competition guys, all that kind of stuff. And then a few weeks after that, we'll have another two for a restaurant, two restaurants, a chain restaurant, franchise, that's the word I'm looking for. They're buying two of them, and we'll be delivering those in Chicago to one location, and then they'll move. I don't actually know exactly what's going on. They're building one restaurant now, and I don't know if I'm delivering it to an existing restaurant, and when the other restaurant's built, they'll move the second one over there, or if I'm delivering it to the restaurant that's being built now and they have plans to build another one in the future. They have like 5 of them in like the Florida, Georgia area, but now they're opening 2 more in Chicago. So I don't really know exactly what's going on, but on my end, we're building smokers for them, so that's good for me. What else is new? It's been a really long time since I've posted, so I'm trying to make sure like I give you guys the best update I can. So I have 2 more builds after this flatbed. I'm gonna jump right on another flatbed going to a 2011 short bed Ford. Nothing fancy, just the bed. They're getting a hitch on it, so that one won't be terrible. And then afterwards, we have this 90s, I think it's a 90s, maybe it's an 80s, Ford 800 sitting out back for a customer of ours. He's local to my area, and he does like mobile mechanic and all that kind of stuff. So we're just building a flatbed for him on that. And on that deal, we kind of did some horse trading, and I have a set of dually axles for a 2002 Ford F350 with 373 gear ratio in the rear end. We are going to dually swap our white service truck, and then which is actually funny because well, I'll get into that in a second, but we're gonna dually swap that, and maybe in the winter time, if I can get time and the money's right, I will build a new bed for it. I'm not going to get into like super detail trying to explain to it, but I think it's going to be a really fun build. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so another thing, a new piece of equipment we got, and I don't think I've shown it to you, is I built a like 5,000 pound gantry, overhead gantry, to sit out in front of my shop here. Super nice. It is like a miracle worker, especially like I started building these flatbeds. I don't even know, I've lost count of how many I've built now. I think I'm up into like the 20 area. And the first 2 I did, I didn't have any lifting capacity. So it was literally like jack it up, put it on pipe stands, with like 2 2x6s screwed together, sitting way up in the air, drive the truck under it, and then lower it back down. Literally an install would take an entire day. Now with the gantry, we have a wireless remote for it. Install takes us, at the best time I had, I installed a bed in 40 minutes. So that's pretty good. And that's just been super, super versatile. As another thing, as far as lifting apparatuses go, the Ford 800 series tractor that we bought last year that has sat outside because I just got insanely busy and never had time. The motor is at the machine shop getting redone. I was hoping, I'll be honest, I was hoping it would already be done at this point, but it's still tore down. I'm hoping when I get everything back and I can accumulate all the parts, I'm really, really hoping it will only take like maybe a weekend or 2 weekends to get it running and make sure everything's good on it. And it's hard for me because I was trying to pick one project at a time, so I decided, okay, I will start with the tractor because that's the least amount of time and money investment. So I'll start with the tractor and I'll get that one out of the way, and then that will be a big help for around here lifting. And then I really, really wanted to get into like skid steer and compact tractor attachments. We have tons of ideas for things that I think will sell really, really good in my area, and we can ship them. But for that, I actually had booked some work for tractors, just nothing big, like tiny land clearing jobs and a couple driveways, things like that, just so we can build implements and really kind of put them through the test to know if they're gonna operate well. Which I like to do with everything. Like the smokers I built, I would build it, cook on it, and sell it. And I would do that until I figured I had a really good plan for smokers, and then I start kind of moving them into production. Flatbed, same things. I had built enough flatbeds to kind of know like do's, don'ts, and be able to move forward with like adding in production. So now let's get the tractor fixed and get some attachments made so I can just kind of put them through the paces around here and everything, and see how they work. So that was the first project I was gonna do, and the motor's been at the machine shop for 2 months. They told me a month, and it's kind of one of them things. They're like, you know how it is. It's like a month, might be 3, but they told me they tried to get it in a month, and or at least tell me the parts I need to personally order, so that I could have everything ready if they were like a couple weeks out on it. But I do know when they told me a month, the main guy who does all that kind of work had hurt his back, and he had been out for 2 weeks already, and they weren't sure when he was going to be back. So might have been a month from the day I dropped it off, might have been a month from when he got back to work 3 weeks later. You know, I don't know. So it kind of ran into that my second project was going to be dually swapping the Super Duty and building the bed for it right away. And it's weird because okay, well, I'll back up even further. We don't run the Hobart Champion Elite anymore on the welding truck. Absolutely nothing happened to it. In fact, if you can hear it idling, that idling noise, it's actually the Hobart Champion Elite right now. So I was redoing all of this, and I figured out that there were some weird electrical things going on. Like everything on the back was wired with too light a wire, and everything up front was wired with the right wire, and like weird things were like lights and outlets were wired on the same breaker. So like if I was in here working and I was like whatever grinding or using the benchtop lathe and I popped a breaker, the lights would shut off too. So my plan was I was going to insulate this and get 220 ran out here, and then just work out of here for another year. And it was absolutely terrible trying to get someone out here to run 220. I knew I needed an additional power supply out here, and I think I went through 4 electricians trying to find someone who had the right qualifications to come out and do it and could work with the power company. I had a couple of them and they were like, oh, well, you know, we just do the wiring. We won't work with the power company. And the power company wanted to know the licensed electrician that was going to do it, and all that good stuff. So like that was a headache, and it was going to cost thousands of more dollars than I thought it was going to. So I was on Marketplace, about an hour south of me. There's a company, they build bridges. They had a piece of equipment, a Lincoln Ranger 305G, with like 4,000 and some hours on it, which was a lot of hours. I think they had started asking 3,000 for it, and I told them I'd come look at it, I'd want to weld with it, and I would give them $1,500 if everything worked out good. They wrote me back and said, well, we'll do $1,800 our bottom dollar if you can come tomorrow, which I was like, okay, I'll go tomorrow. Went tomorrow, welded with it. The only thing I can find that is wrong with it is the display, and the dials don't, I guess, communicate. So when you change the voltage or the amperage dial on the machine, your display doesn't actually read what your amp is, so you kind of have to fine-tune it, but it's really easy to fine-tune. It welds great, and I really, really like it. I'm glad I bought it. And then we took the Hobart Champion Elite and we put it in the compressor shed, and that is now what supplies the 220 for our shop. So when you see our welders running in here, the MIG welders, it's the Champion Elite supplying it. When you hear the compressor running, it's the Champion Elite supplying the power. When you see the plasma table, it's the Champion Elite supplying it. And off that, I do run the Razor Weld Cut 45 at 45 amps, and the compressor runs at the same time, and it cuts the CNC table cuts. Sometimes when the compressor kicks on, it will mess up the voltage and my plasma cutter will stop, but you literally just have to select the line it stopped on, and then it will take off again. It's not that big a deal. It is a little slower, and I've actually thought about getting a 120 volt compressor and actually using our 80-gallon compressor as like an auxiliary tank, and just seeing how we do that. The third project I had wanted to get done this summer, it was the least time investment but the largest money investment. I was gonna buy a new piece of equipment for the shop. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is because I kind of want it to be a surprise, and I've purchased it. It's just I purchased it, and then there was something, I think I messed up on the purchase order, the shipping, because it got canceled and I had to repurchase it. And basically what it was when it asked delivery, I didn't realize that you have to tell, like, if it's a commercial, business ran from home, or residential, and like, do you have capability to unload? Do you need unloading services? So I had, the default was capable of unloading commercial building, which, you know, technically we are a business from our home, and there's one of them things where it's like, well, if the tractor was here, I could unload it. It's not too big to where I couldn't unload it with the tractor, and like my brother-in-law has another tractor that's literally 5 minutes down the road, and Tristan Squid has another tractor that's just up the road too. So it's like we could get both tractors here and unload it. The issue with that was there wasn't, it seemed like there was going to be trouble scheduling. Am I going to be here? Are they going to be here same time? Like, they didn't want to sit and wait for me, and honestly, I didn't really want to sit and wait for them. So on the second order, we just went, we need services to unload it. It is a machine that I think there's a little assembly required. I don't actually know. I don't know. I know the weight of it, my tractor could handle, and even if it was oblong, 2 tractors could do it. So yeah, the crummy thing is, I now have money wrapped into the tractor project, I have money wrapped into the dually swap project, and now I have money wrapped into the new equipment project, whereas I wanted to do them each one at a time. So that's why I'm pushing the dually. We'll probably swap it, and just because my axles are, you know, they're worn out. So I kind of want to go through those, swap it, make it work on my truck for a while, and then this winter we'll kind of bring the body back in and redo it. But other than that, we're having like just this like insane busy year, which is great. It's kind of making me question the direction we're going, because it's almost all shop work. And the mobile work I've just told them, like, you know, just my scheduling wise, I can make you a better deal if you bring it to me. And for the most part, everyone's been able to do that. I've had to go out on a couple of repairs, but and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the shop work. It's just, it kind of made me question the, like, well, you know, we're putting a lot of money dually swapping and building a new bed on the truck. And I like having the truck around, because when you are doing mobile work, it is kind of a more premium dollar than shop work. But man, we are just, you know, like I said, there's the job I'm working on currently and the next 4 jobs booked. We're probably booked through the next 6 weeks. I can usually do a flatbed in a week and a smoker in a week, 2 smokers in a week if they're similar enough and I can do them at the same time. And I know in the next 6 weeks, you know, knock on wood, more work will come in. So yeah, we're super busy, and that's why we decided, like, the new equipment for the shop is priority, because that will get our times down in how fast we can turn things out. But it will be very crowded in here with that new piece of equipment. I mean, it's already crowded in here. In fact, this table, it might go just sit outside. We might build like a smaller 5x2 or 5x3 table, and then just so we can fit the other equipment in here, because I am kind of dumbfounded about how I'm even gonna do it. I want to get a couple more of these, because those are really nice when they're closed up. We do have an old, I think it's an old, yeah, Kalamazoo bandsaw that we want to incorporate into work coming up. But I wanted to get these 3 projects done: the new equipment, the tractor, and the truck done, because there are 3 that would kind of just make life easier, and then focus on the 2025 goal can just be kind of like focus on getting us into a new shop. We were looking this whole winter, we were actually, because the shop work picked up so much, we were looking into leasing a shop, and I had concerns about it. My big concern was, like, if you lease a shop, you're kind of committing, or at least how we're kind of wanting to be set up, we're kind of committing to, like, someone needs to be there Monday through Friday for walk-ins. And then it was hard with, like, the baby schedule, or toddler now, right? I think when they're a year old, they're a toddler. He acts like one. Yeah, so, like, when, like, now, like, you know, I wouldn't want to watch him at the shop all day. It's nice being able to just be home. My office isn't home. I can screen calls, do pickup, drop-offs, all that stuff really easy, and then just come out and do the manual labor. So we had concerns about that. The other really big concern I had was we were looking for a shop that I could grow into over the next 10 years, which means, you know, they would be quadruple this size or more. You like, the bare minimum I was looking at was quadruple this size. And the payments I was looking at on it, the rent, the lease, man, it was like we could swing it, but I was struggling with, like, you'll always be paying that in. You'll never own the building unless they come to an agreement and something happens and they want to sell it. And none of them buildings that I was looking at, like, there was only 4 that were even a possibility, and we really only showed interest in 1 because it was a great location. I was curious what the better location would do for us business-wise, but at the end of the day, they all fell through, and I'm kind of happy about it. There's one building we could have got. The big thing I didn't like about that was someone else was already leasing it, and it was just an open building. Well, he wanted to cut back to only leasing half of it, and they wanted to lease me out the other half, which, okay, the problem I had with that one was they didn't really seem to want to, like, put up a dividing wall. They kind of thought that should fall on the tenants, which I know that's kind of to be expected to a point, but I didn't really, like, have or the need or desire or the money to, you know, first thing you do, you go in there and you're building this wall, and the power was weird because it was all going to be off 1 meter, so it was like we have to split it. But then he was concerned that I was going to be drawing way more power than him, so he wanted to do like a 70-30, and it was like, it's just, I don't think this one's for me. The other one we were looking at, one of our customers, our land clearing customers, they were trying to buy the shop, and they were gonna, it was much better divided up. They were gonna lease part of it to me and part of it to their mechanic, because they kind of wanted us more on site to help do their work when need be. But that one fell through too, which, that's okay. That one was the one I was excited for, and the one that we would probably figure out, but because that was a great location and definitely room to grow into it. It actually literally used to be an old welding shop. So it was very well set up for my needs, but it fell through, and I'm not heartbroken on it, because having went through this year and now we kind of know things better, I'm thankful to be able to work out of my home shop, even though this one is very small. So our plan is to hopefully 2025. Again, it's hard because when you have the time, you maybe don't have the money, and when you have the money, you definitely don't have the time, and that's been my struggle. We've decided, I think we're gonna pretty much do everything ourselves except the electrical and maybe the insulation, but we'll build the structures, and we're even gonna lay the concrete. I've done a little bit of work, and I'm comfortable enough to do like a good, like, garage floor finish. You know, I want it to be nice, but it doesn't have to be like perfectly perfect. I want it to be level. Level is my big thing. I think I can get it level. I don't know how easy I'll be able to, smooth I'll be able to finish it. So, but yeah, so that's the plan. So get these kind of 3 projects done. First part of 2025, maybe we finish up the service truck, and then hopefully we can get cracking on the shop. Because personal life wise, family's growing, and we are like out of storage in our house, so we would actually like to have this garage to do storage in. But that's the update video. It's a lot of me rambling. Last thing I'll say, if any of my subscribers follow Neverboard S10 Addictions, I believe I know there's a couple underscores in there, I'm not sure where. Guy I went to high school with, he does YouTube too. I think he started just shortly after me. He's creeping up on me subscriber count wise. A month back maybe, he hit 2,000, I'm at like 23. at the time, and we were talking. He was real happy about it, as he should be. Great accomplishment. Those 1,000 milestones are really nice. I like them. And anyways, I told him, I said, well, let's have a little challenge. End of the year, whoever has the most subscribers buys the loser dinner. Or that's not right. Buys the winner dinner. So we're going to do that. Right now, I'm at like 2,325 subscribers. And he's at 180, I think. So we're pretty close, and we got 6 months left to go. So if you guys want me to win, subscribe to my channel. If you don't want me to win, you'd rather see me buy dinner, go subscribe to his channel. He's one of them. Like, I watch all his videos because it's nice, because like, and I hope I kind of come off like this too. It's like the YouTube channel is just kind of a look into my reality. Like, obviously I want it to be supplemental income or even main income. That'd be awesome. I just feel like sometimes you get these YouTube channels that you can tell, okay, now YouTube has become their main source of income. And it's not that the YouTube channels get bad, they just change a little bit. There's more structure, and there's more like thought that goes into videos and organization. And again, that's all great stuff, and that's how you become successful. But I just kind of like the littler channels that it's just like you open them up and like you can just tell their day-to-day. They're the ones holding the camera. There's no special lighting. It's not staged, anything like that. It's just refreshing. It's more relatable, I guess I should say. His channel, definitely relatable. He has a sweet S10 that he's built. And like, if you're from Michigan or wonder about Michigan, like he takes it like racing on the dunes. Like, he does all sorts of stuff. Tool reviews, budget stuff. He's very much in the same kind of how I am. His garage, the main power source is generator driven. He has like solar panels he talked about, fixing the truck. He's a very good, very mechanically inclined. He's a very good turning a wrench. So yeah, whether you want me to win or lose, you should head over to his channel. Neverboard S10 Addictions. I don't know if he's ever actually said what his name is on there, so I'm not going to say it in case some people want to be more private about that stuff. And he'll probably tell me in the comment section. It doesn't matter if he watches this video, but yeah, I'll tag him in the comment section below and in the description so you guys can go check him out, because good videos, great guy. He's also in the same boat, personal-wise, family-wise, and I'm pretty sure he mentions the kiddos. His daughter is like a couple months younger than my son, so he's, balancing work, balancing parenthood, and still trying to get content out for you guys and get everything done on time. He gets it. Many of you get it too. So go give him some support, and we'll see you on the next video, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. The next video, I'm hoping there'll probably be some shorts, but I want to do a live. I want to do a live because it's been a while, and that's always a good way to connect with my subscribers. So cheers.